Hey guys, it's Michael Todd and welcome to the Cult of Vintage. I know you see it behind me. That's right, you guys. We are at Retherford's farm once again. One of my favorite places to be. It is a beautiful spring day out. You guys, there's flowers galore. Sarah is set up for Mother's Day. There's a lot of shoppers out there shopping right now. So I'm gonna hold off on filming that. Well, actually, I think we can see. But there you can kind of see everything set up with all of the flowers. And of course, we're going to get a close-up shot of that here in a little bit. But we're going to get inside and go shopping. Yeah, we are. Let's do it, guys. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful day. And I really feel like it's coming through on camera. Now, as we are walking up into the barn, I do spot these ceramic pigeons, birds. They are marked, it looks like it says China, even in real life, or China. I can't quite frankly make it out. However, the subject matter, I love how bright and cheerful they are. Obviously, we're going to have to clean them up a little bit, but I definitely like this one. It's so bright, springy, and summery. Now, we do have a partner here to it, and oh, darn it. Yeah, we've got a good chip there on the beak. Of course, the camera, there we go. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I would have loved to have gotten the pair, but it is what it is. At least we're able to get one. All right, we're going to head up here further into the barn. But before we do, I do spot, I cannot believe this, there is actually another set of these hobbyist ceramic gnomes. Now, I've gotten these here before, interestingly enough, by a different artist. I gotta be honest, I wasn't entirely feeling them, except for this one here. He's got a little dirt on him. That's all right. That's what happened when dwarves crawl around in the woods. They get dirty. He's absolutely adorable. Look, we get a free spider nest with it. Don't worry, that's not going to come, free with purchase. We're going to knock that out. But I really like him. I like the green colors. Again, great for spring and summer. He's kind of cute. I really like this pose, but I just really wasn't feeling the paint job. This guy's a little sitter here, so, he could sit on the edge of a table, but I decide, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and pick up this guy here. He was my favorite. All right, as we are walking in further, I am kind of seeing some really unexpected and interesting things here. That's going to kind of be the motto of the video today. Unusual and unexpected. Namely, we do, in fact, yes, see a zebra pelt. Now, I want to say that this is a vintage zebra pelt. I certainly understand, especially more exotic animals. There is obviously an unnecessary, in my opinion, an unnecessary need for trophy hunting. However, and it's nice that, this animal, somebody's going to be able to appreciate, preserve it, and hopefully it can leave a productive life in some way. This is really interesting. Let's switch gears. We've got a little matchbox set here. It's really cute. I kind of like it. I was really, for some reason, very obsessed with this helicopter. It's very odd. I like it. It was in overall pretty good condition. Obviously, it was played with. It's got some wear on it. So I do decide to leave this one behind, just given the size of the piece. And then I spotted this over to my right. It is this shell art. It very much is in an Asian, and I think specifically Chinese. A lot of capiz shells and various other shells that have been carved and trimmed. Look at the detailing even on the talons to the bird. Now, there was some damage here to the tail feathers at the very end. I was kind of seeing like if it had any identifying marks on it. It did not. It has a very, I think, typical kind of frame to it. I did leave it behind just simply because of the shipping. So we're going to get a close-up look of all kinds of little things. This jumped out at me, these very like mid-century, these are hand-turned wooden jars here. You could certainly use them for a variety of different reasons, or purposes, I should say. This one was really cool. I liked it. However, when I took the lid off, there is a chip or a chunk missing out of the wood. It is actually included, so a little bit of wood glue certainly would spruce that one up. However, this really tall one, it did not have any damage, so we most certainly picked that one up. Again, it is hand turned, so yeah, I absolutely wanted to get that one. You know, somebody took time to make it. Now, this one does appear to be more of a produced piece. I gotta say, I really like it. There was some scuffing on it. I'm not sure why I left it behind. I kind of really dig that one. It's like a honeycomb kind of shape to it. So we're going to snatch up this big one here. Okay, here we go. And right below them are some flower frogs. Now, a lot of people during our sales have been asking for metal flower frogs. I typically don't get them. However, I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. I got to say, a lot of times when you pick flower frogs, the little points are dulled. Yet these ones, they are not. They are sharp. So I had to be a little mindful. Here are the four that we got. That kind of oval or oblong one is really unusual. It's kind of like a little puzzle piece. So I definitely snatched that one up. We've got some light fixtures here, which is really awesome to see. It's great to see kind of more home interior utilitarian pieces being salvaged. A little egg here in a very Japanese theme here with the geisha on them. The paintwork was better than I could do, I will say that. But so far as it being indicative of a more quality piece, I decided that it really kind of wasn't, almost like a touristy piece, though I will say that it most certainly appeared to be vintage. I saw these little praying hands with a little angel in it, but it turns out it is a newer one. Nothing wrong with that, especially if you love the aesthetic and the vibe. But again, you know, we're the cult of vintage, so we are trying to keep it vintage, or antique even better. Now we do have this great glass fronted cabinet here. Really liked it. Quite frankly, was very intrigued by a few of the items. The first one that caught my eye was this little, how am I going to pronounce that? Pyrgos. And this little top hat cigarette box. What? The cigarettes are still in this, you guys. They're like 1910 to about 1920s. If you ever find cigarette boxes, definitely pick them up. Look, there's even some cigarettes there. I decided to go ahead and get this one. Now, this one was obviously in a little plastic case. I like the fact that it has the graphics on it were really what caught my eye. I decided to pop it open to see if there were any cigarettes left. I like the fact that this one kind of just pops open. It's like a little case. Fancy. But there was nothing inside, but that's okay because the condition is really good on that one. So yeah, we're definitely going to get the two of those. And since I had the cabinet door open, I decided to inspect here a little bit more. So yeah, there you see the two. And then I did find those ones called John. He's a very Creole looking man, I gotta say. And the Rough Rider with the cowboy on there. Heck yeah, we're gonna get all four of those today, you guys. Now I did spot all of the color over here, and it is the land of salt and pepper shakers. We do have these two little like angelfish, but unfortunately he has a pretty substantial break there on his little fin, so we leave him behind. I kind of like these little chicks here. The fur on it, it wasn't in the best shape. And then as I turned it, and you can see there is some pretty substantial chipping there. Not necessarily say that that is a deal breaker, but on something that small, I really like to have it kind of in as good of a condition as we can possibly find it. I was kind of crouched down here, and that caught my eye. It is from 1960. It is an Annie Oakley produced by Whitman Publishing. It is in fact a paper doll book. Really interesting way to display them, but unfortunately the dolls and the clothes inside, it was in pretty rough condition, though it is an amazing graphic on the front. I did decide to leave that one behind, but still certainly worth capturing on camera. All kinds of stuff, you guys. You never know what you are going to find at Rutherford's. It's just a great vibe. I don't know how to put it into words. If you're in the area or kind of making a trip to Pennsylvania, again, we are in Benton, Pennsylvania. Highly recommend checking it out. Now, it has been several months, but this is Miss Joan Evans, and Joan Evans was quite the artist. I was able to actually purchase a number of her. I think I got some Easter, and more specifically, it was the Halloween. So here we've got something for Thanksgiving, the little turkey here. I absolutely decide to pick him up. It's excellent to kind of save these pieces and get them into homes where they're going to be loved and appreciated. And, we get to be guardians not only of the object, but somebody's time and effort into painting that. Now we do see some little jewelry boxes here, and of course we've got the Tin Man, the Wizard of Oz doll. Pretty good condition. He's obviously missing the cellophane there on the front of his package. Great for a Wizard of Oz collector. I don't think that there is that much value per se, so far as desirability or collectability. So we did leave him behind. Just want to give you an overview of Rutherford's. All kinds of stuff. And I love how everything is set up. It's rusty, crusty, and dusty. Oh no, I'm seeing that Western bunny. I didn't see that in real life. I just saw him there to the left. Darn it. It happens. Got some license plates there. Oh, do you see them? Looks like a little ceramic piece, a hobbyist piece. Oh well. You can't buy everything. Got some Coke bottles there. I know that there's some that are more desirable than others. I'm just unfortunately not that all that familiar. We're going to take our time, make sure that we don't miss anything. I like how everything is pulled together, but it's not so organized. So you get little vignettes. However, it still doesn't take away from the treasure hunt vibe. There are still areas where you can kind of root through. Speaking of, here is one of those areas. Now, we do have a lithograph toy dollhouse up there and one of those little, oh gosh, what are they called? I don't know. But underneath, I saw some ephemera, and yeah, we got her. There is some condition issues. However, the subject matter, definitely risque for the time. Unfortunately, this one, the condition issue, we can see her legs, but it looks like they were exposed to heat and it had some scorching on it. This was really interesting. It actually is a souvenir postcard booklet. It has all of the pieces in there. A lot of them are hand drawn and watercolored on. The interesting thing was, and I'm going to show you the date here, that kind of surprised me. It's actually copyrighted 1920, if we can get it to focus. No, pardon me, 1923. Really good condition for being 99 years old, gotta say. Now we do have like these little chubby children's books produced again by Whitman. I was kind of interested. It was obviously a little tattered there on the exterior. The interior wasn't in that much better condition, though I will say the colors were still nice and bright. However, obviously it was kind of hanging on for dear life with that vintage cellophane tape. This was amazing. Found a tin type, you guys. Great subject matter there. Sometimes just because it's a tin type doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be desirable. There is still good value on it. I'm kind of showing you there so you can see the tin. But it's always going to be the subject matter that really drives it. Now, these were labeled Roman and Egyptian. Are they? I don't know. They're most certainly spearheads. How one would know with any kind of certainty that they are Egyptian and Roman, I don't know. I love that time in history, so I thought, why not? We'll just get them. This is great. It is a souvenir of France from 1918. It is a piece of silk that obviously has hand embroidery on it. Beautiful piece and a very unusual piece, extremely delicate. Definitely pick that one up. Now we do find some rather interesting ephemera. Where does meat fit in the baby's diet? I mean, this thing is talking about serving strained meat to infants still in the hospital. So, of course, again, with a subject matter like that, I had to pick it up. There was, oh, there it is, in formula. What? Strained meat? Yeah, see. What? I couldn't. I was like, no, no, sir, certainly not. No, we wouldn't do that. There was no date. Obviously, it's kind of like 40s, 50s era. Interesting times, right? So we're going to kind of root through here. This was odd. It's 20 years of corn. I'm not sure, but it was weird. Um, Great graphics, definitely vintage, I believe from the 50s. So I did decide to go ahead and pick this one up. Again, I'm not familiar with who the man is. I just thought it was strange and unusual, so of course I had to get it. Now we're going to go to some more ephemera here. We've got Operation Survival. That's right, it is an action adventure comic. We do have, of course, some condition issues. This one was from 1951, 52, or 53. I cannot remember for the life of me. We're going to flip here to the front to get a date on it. No, Michael, you were completely wrong. It was 1957. Really interesting. Again, while there are some condition issues, I thought, again, the subject matter was really unusual, so we definitely picked that one up. Now, the next two magazines were actually produced by the NRA. However, it has some great graphics in there, amazing ads, and that's really what it all is about. Now, Santa Claus, the cover there did have some condition issues, but the overall condition of the magazine was in pretty darn good shape. So I do decide to go ahead and pick this one up, kind of thumbing through to see any of the ads. Whether they're full page, maybe there are some colors. This is what I will say is that you look at some, oh, nobody did the crossword puzzle, but sometimes you will find some really interesting advertisements in them. Again, we've got another one here, kind of thumbing through it, little action adventure story. Yeah, I probably would say you definitely need a gun if you're going to go into the jungle. So look at this Chrysler ad. How beautiful and glamorous are they? Look at that. Amazing. Do you know? Oh, this Alice in Wonderland, this Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Oh, that is the stuff of nightmare, folks. Yeah, it is. 15 Shaves. Again, a little short story there. All right, we're up and we're back. This yellow, this buttery yellow, definitely caught my eye. Now, two of these are in really good condition. These are like service bowls here. There is no lip on them. Oven Serve, again, made in the USA. It is like a Homer Laughlin pattern. Love this color. Beautiful and something that you can really use in a modern home, and I think is going to be able to be used in just about anybody's home decor. Now, the one with the clothespins in it does appear to be missing its lid. You can kind of tell because that was really brilliant, Michael. Pick it up while there's a ball jar full of paper clips. No, not paper. What are clothespins? So I did leave that one behind. However, the other two here, definitely cleaned them up before I sold them. But overall, really good condition. So I do snatch those up for the win. Again, finding utilitarian vintage pieces, it always, I love doing it because it's just a great way to kind of live that vintage life. So we do have some superior haul, and we've got a very fancy little peacock here. I'm going to have to say the paint application is maybe a little crude, so I left that one behind. Here we have got a little Joseph's piece. It is in fact a music box, excellent condition. Love the fact that the couple obviously has found this little yellow bird in the winter and they're going to take care of him. Love the movement in her scarf and her dress. And there, of course, is our Joseph. It says that it's Lala's theme. I don't know. I think it's from Dr. Zhivago. So I'm going to kind of let it play here. I had to turn it down. The music is really loud in here. I hope you can kind of hear it. Alrighty, guys, we're going to move on here into another section of the barn. And then it just gets really real. In this part, I gotta say, we just start finding all kinds of goodness. Starting off, of course, with some Christmas here. Now, I love these. Oh, I love this little milk glass Santa Claus. Obviously, they're a replacement bulb. I wouldn't necessarily use that today if it even worked, but it would be great kind of Christmas wreath fodder. Love finding all of these tinies. I thought, oh, you know what? It's still there. I can glue that back on. It'll be the perfect addition to the right wreath. So yeah, we're going to get everything that we just saw here on the top, including this little lenticulated pinup. She's got her little scarves. And she kind of reveals herself there. So I didn't want to get too much of that on camera. Underneath here, look at this. We've got the hard acrylic reindeer. The thing that immediately caught my eye, of course, were like these caramel colored ones. I've never seen them in that color. These range from like the 40s and the 50s to earlier. So, yeah, of course, I had to go for the unusual colored ones. We do, in fact, pick up, these are the OGs. These are the celluloid ones. And you can kind of tell because it almost has like a paper feel. And then, of course, we are going to pick up some of the hard white acrylic ones. Again, I'm not going to use the celluloid ones for wreath making, but I'm most definitely going to probably work those white hard plastic ones in there. Love these little pieces here, very 60s and 70s, that giant mouse. Unfortunately, he was a mail carrier. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it was so specific that I didn't know if anybody would be interested. Now, here is a little Peter Pan squeaker. He obviously is going to need cleaned up. Interestingly enough, it is actually produced by Sun Rubber, though it does appear to be an officially licensed product per the Disney insignia on it. And speaking of Disney squeakers, look at this. We found Mickey Mouse in the old school Mickey Mouse Club little logo there. Again, he's going to need cleaned, but really good condition. Obviously a little bit of paint loss, but I don't mind that. I think it really adds to kind of his character and the aesthetic value of the piece. I'm obsessed with checking the teeth on these mugs because some of them get pretty crazy. So he was normal. That's all right. He's a normie. We'll let it pass though. Now we did see a bag of Christmas here. We've got some cookie cutters in there. We've got a little drunk Santa, some plastic Christmas, nothing that really I don't have. So I did decide to leave that one behind. Now, these lamps were really interesting. I was like, is that purple lucite? It is not purple lucite. It is a more modern, like a 70s, 80s. So it is like an acrylic, but it does definitely give you off a mid-century vibe. This would be really cool if you had amethyst or pink glass. I think very feminine look to it, obviously. We do have a genuine marble bottom on it, but it was a little too specific for me to want to get. But tucked away here in the front are these wooden nesting dolls. Let's check those out. Now it does have, I haven't really fully been able to make them out, but it was really interesting. And better yet, the whole family is present. Look at how darling they are. Very simply painted. And I think that that really does add to kind of like the folk art vibe to them. And I love them. So we do get those. We're getting all of the toys here, you guys. And I did find a little Smurf tension toy. So we're going to get him too. Heck yeah. I remember having that as a kid. I was obsessed with making him kind of dance around on the rings. All right, we're going to slowly make our way back to our basket here, just making sure that we're not missing anything along the way. We've got a cabinet here full of kind of religious and some global figurines. I will say that I've seen these before. I've gotten some angels out of here. They did good. A lot of the, unfortunately, the global Hummels don't have a lot of resale value. Specific ones do, though. Now, the thing that caught my eye was this Guishan. It did appear to be a trinket dish, so I had to get that out. Yes, in fact, it was a Guishan. She does have a bird cage. She is a trinket dish, but unfortunately, she had gotten decapitated at one point in her life. The repair was rather crude, so I did leave her behind, sadly. I was really debating about getting this global doll. He is porcelain, yet he is still articulated. I thought he was really cute, but again, there isn't a lot of desirability on the globals. He does have a sister back here. So I'm going to go ahead and leave these ones behind because I'm just like, Now, talking about ephemera, look at these little moccasins or slippers that were made out of vintage, what I'm going to assume were vintage Christmas cards. I absolutely love them. I think they're absolutely darling. You know, somebody took the time to make them, so I'm going to go ahead and get these. I think it's just something that is unusual. You don't find a whole lot of moccasins made out of old Christmas cards. And yeah, you see it. Don't worry, I'm going to give you the full on view. Look at how deco this lady is. She's got those super thin eyebrows, That beautiful curly hair, classic Coca-Cola there. A little large for me to ship. Now, this little owl sculpture, he did appear to be wood at first glance, but right when I picked him up, I knew he was like a composite made to look wood. We've got a antique piece of ephemera here. It's called the War Cry. Um, it obviously has some condition issues. I had to be very mindful. I was doing this one-handed. We do have some separation to it. However, given the subject matter, given the age, I wasn't upset. Again, it speaks to his sentimentality that I don't want to see these things get further damaged or lost, or worse yet, thrown away or discarded. So I do rescue this one, and I really feel like there is somebody out there that's going to give this a good home and treasure it and keep it safe. I just think it's something that could be framed very easily to be preserved and admired. Doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Now we are switching over to full voiceover at this point. The music was bumping. So we've got some creepy little bisque clowns there. I did see these old like 80s, like little boom boxes, little tape players here. Unfortunately, there was something rattling around in there. Oh my gosh, that was like the free purchase with your Time subscription. Do y'all remember that? Or Sports Illustrated used to give you away the football foam. Oh my word. That was pretty cool to see. Anybody under the age of like what 35 is like, what are you talking about? What's Time magazine? Now, it did spot this. We're going to call it ephemera, even though it is a quote unquote cloth book. It is from 1915. The pages were sealed in wax. Obviously, it's had an adventurous life. But again, speaking to the sentimentality of the piece, given the age, it's a children's book. There are full colored images throughout. I did pick this up, and I know with certainty that this has passed on to somebody that's really going to treasure it, preserve it, and keep it safe. To fix something like this, the pages were stuck together is what we're doing. Look at this. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. But you could press it on a very low setting on the iron, obviously in between two towels. Certainly towels that you wouldn't necessarily want to keep. There probably would be a little bit of wax melt, but I think that would really help restore it. Good. The pages were still tightly bound to it, so I was hemming and hawing. Look at that moose. Beautiful imagery. So yeah, I thought, you know what? Let's just go ahead and let's just do that. I kind of put it into an ephemera lot. Specifically kind of like youthful ones. One of the things that I did put it with was this Fun with Baby. Look, it's a non-toxic book. It says that it wipes clean. The images in this are absolutely a darling. Obviously, it's very simple, kind of very rudimentary. 1952 overall, really good condition. Again, this really was about the graphic. I love that. Bang bang. A fast ride. Look at these. Oh my goodness. They're absolutely adorable. Look, this way, puppy. She's holding on for dear life. Now, I did find this antique book, Essays by Milton. I love the inscription there on the front. We do have a copyright date of 1904. I like Milton and Addison, of course. This one was really interesting. It's called Dumb Bell's Letters. It is a collection of letters that were written into various periodicals, whether it was a newspaper, a magazine, copyrighted 1935 from Simon and Schuster. But it's just like one of those things where you're like, somebody really like, are you okay? There are some great cartoon graphics in there, so I definitely picked that up. Now, talking about picking stuff up, look at these Priscilla magazines. Now, they are antiques. I'm going to call them antiques. July 1923. We've got, what, January here. We're going to kind of leaf through these a little bit, looking at, again, the various ads, the fashions. Look at that Del Monte, those peaches and cantaloupes there. The old sewing machine, absolutely amazing. I thought initially that there were only two. However, I was wrong. Turns out there were actually three of these modern Priscillas. Look at this Cupie. Absolutely adorable. Just very unusual advertisements. Yep, there we have it. 1922 of February. And again, that is January. I believe it was 1923, if I'm not mistaken, or 24. Oh, no, it's October 1927. And we have four, Michael. Did I say three? There is four total. Obviously, this one, its cover is loose. I still think that we're going to go ahead and snatch this one up. And then we've got a Cosmopolitan. What? October of 1938? I had no idea that Cosmopolitan had been around that long. That was an easy get. I didn't even have to look outside. Could you imagine some of the articles in that one from 1938? Here we have got the story of a plush bear. Obviously, it is worn. However, the color plates on the interior, they did not use a lot of colors to it. I was not able to find any comps on it. I did decide to go ahead and pick this one up. The little bear is falling off the train. Goodness, good thing he's full of stuffing. So I took a risk and I got it because I thought it was absolutely charming. These are really interesting. It is a comic series called Classics Illustrated, and they took quite literally classic literature, fiction typically, and turned them or serialized them into comic books. Now, the Swiss Family Robinson, Seawolf, The Lady of the Lake, The Invisible Man, I did decide to go ahead and pick those all up. Again, it is the subject matter, it is the title and author recognition. These were great. They were Canadian souvenirs. Obviously, we do have Indigenous or Native individuals on it. This one here, the little figurine, was not adhered to it, and it says that it's from Austria, which I thought was amazing. It seems like it's almost like a pulp, doesn't it? Yeah. So I definitely got these. I'm probably going to hold on to these for a little bit because I absolutely love the native souvenir pieces. Alrighty, guys, that is everything that we got. Again, full of a lot of surprises, especially all of the ephemera. We've got all of the deer there. I am very pleased. The squeakers that we got, the bookends. Oh my goodness, the nesting dolls there. I mean, I really think that we did good. We're going to wrap it up here, but before we do, let's take a walk out front. Here are all of the beautiful flowers, you guys. We are going to be returning here shortly. Sarah said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. You need to come back, and we will. I'm going to keep it quiet and let you guys just hopefully enjoy the beauty of the day, of the flowers. Excellent time here. Well, there we have it. Wow, that was amazing. I don't know, you guys. That's the thing. Being out here at Retherford Farms, the inspiration just hits me. I don't know what it is. I wasn't planning on coming out here and getting ephemera, but we got a lot of ephemera. I'm excited about it. I hope that you guys are too. That Cosmopolitan, I think, is absolutely amazing. Super excited. All of the deer. Wow, just there was so much good stuff today, you guys. So remember, if you've made it this far in the video and you're not already subscribed, go ahead, hit subscribe. Don't be afraid to get aggressive with that thumbs up button. I would certainly appreciate it. And yeah, definitely leave me a comment down below letting me know what your favorite item was today that we found, right? Item of today, whatever. Hubby, look at. The dog decided she could have, Daisy could have made it on camera, just saying, girl. So anyhow, guys, that is it. Remember, until next time, keep it rusty, crusty, and dusty. Bye, guys.